Hello, welcome back. We're in week three. We've covered orientation, week one and week two, and this is for the course entitled Reclaiming Your Self-Authority, How to Stay Grounded in Relationships Without Losing Yourself. This week is in an internal turning point of the course, where authority moves from external pressure back to inner permission. Where authority moves from external pressure back to inner permission. So let's talk about reclaiming your inner permission. This means to restore trust in your own judgment without rushing certainty or action. Let's first start with the idea of when you know, but don't trust it yet. By now, you may be noticing something subtle. You can often tell what feels right to you. But trusting that sense, that's much harder. You might think, I know what I feel, but I don't know if I'm allowed to stand by it. You might think, I don't want to be unreasonable. You might think, I don't want to get it wrong. This week is about that space, the space between knowing and permission. So, what is inner permission actually? Inner permission is not confidence. Confidence is about certainty. Permission is about allowing yourself to decide even without it. Inner permission sounds like I'm allowed to take time. I'm allowed to revise. I'm allowed to trust myself without consensus. Many people lose self-authority not because they don't know, but because they've learned to wait for approval. So, what happens when permission gets interrupted? If you grew up or worked in environments where being agreeable was rewarded, certainty was valued over reflection, authority figures defined reality quickly. Then waiting for permission became protective. At some point, that protection became a habit. You may notice internalized voices that ask, am I being fair? Shouldn't I be more understanding? Who am I to decide? But these aren't doubts, they're echoes. Here's something essential. Self-authority does not require being right. It requires self-trust. You are allowed to decide before certainty. Choose and later revise. Trust your perception even when others disagree. Authority is not proof-based, it's presence-based. So one thing is curious, and that is high-functioning people tend to struggle here. People who are thoughtful, empathetic, and capable often struggle most with inner permission. Why? Why would that be? Well, let's think about it. This group of people often see multiple perspectives, anticipate impact, and value harmony. That makes them excellent collaborators, but hesitant self-authors. This course isn't asking you to become less relational. It's inviting you to become self-led within relationship. So what am I asking of you now that we're in week 3? This week is not about asserting anything outwardly. It's about noticing when you pause, waiting for permission, when you silence yourself internally, when you look outward before listening inward, and gently experimenting with staying with your sense, staying with uncertainty, staying with yourself. Let's consider something. Let's consider a stabilizing truth. You can be considerate without disappearing. You can be open without deferring. And you can remain in relationship without outsourcing your authority. Inner permission is not selfish, it's stabilizing. As you move into this week's reflections, consider this question. What would it feel like to trust my judgment without needing permission? Let that question work with you quietly. Now, that was week 3, and I really enjoyed working with you on that. Next, coming up is the last week, week 4. Feel free to look at the videos more than once, of course, and the material, the workbook, and I will see you in week 4. Thank you.